Well, at 9:34, it's time to see what's coming out for our media partner, the Baltimore Banner.
Julie Scharper joining us this morning to talk about the Maryland women accused of witchcraft. Julie, we are intrigued.
Yes,
Tell us more.
So we usually think of witchcraft and those allegations happening in Massachusetts, in Salem, but it turns out it happened here in Maryland as well in the late 1600s into the early 1700s. So there was just one woman who was officially executed by the state of Maryland for witchcraft, but others who were sort of stormed by an angry mob and wound up dying. So that the one who was actually executed is a woman named Rebecca Fowler. And she had some property that she inherited from her husband after he passed away. And that seemed to ruffle some feathers. So she was soon after that accused of witchcraft in 1685 and hanged.
Oh boy, and the trials. Tell us a little about those trials.
Sure. So it was interesting. I talked to a local historian named Rissa Miller who has dug into all of this history and looked at these people accused of witchcraft in Maryland. In many cases, there was something that was in some way threatening about them. Maybe they were women with special knowledge, like they knew how to use herbs, or they were midwives. Maybe they were somewhat, I guess, bothersome because they were widows or people who were asking for money, or in many cases they were people who owned property and other people wanted their property.
Wow, the lengths they'll go to.
People were
My
intimidated
goodness.
by that.
Exactly.
Okay.
So were there any other famous women accused of witchcraft in Maryland?
So one of the most famous stories in Maryland is the legend of Maldy, and this is supposed to happen in the Leonardtown, St. Mary's County area. She was a woman who was a healer, and a angry mob arrived at her home. She ran out into the night and apparently froze to death on a rock. And they still have this rock called Maldy's Rock in front of a historical society down there.
You always bring such fascinating things.
Truly.
So you're not going to like poof back to the Baltimore Banner, are you?
I very well might.
Julie Scharper, thank you so much. Always a talker, your stories. And if you'd like to learn more about this story or others from the Baltimore Banner, you can head on over to thebaltimorebanner.com.